Good morning. The October 1st, 2019 meeting of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners will come to order, and we are pleased to have with us this morning our own Chief Appraiser, Mr. Benny Waldroff, with us to lead us in our invocation. And after the invocation, please remain standing for the pledge to the flag.
Let us pray. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, we come to you with grateful hearts this morning as we contemplate all the blessings of life that you've given us. We thank you for our wonderful community, our wonderful country, our wonderful world. Thank you for our jobs, our families, friends, all the blessings of life, health, and even when we're sick, being with us through sickness, dear Lord, and the opportunity to make a difference for good day by day. Now, dear Lord, as we have this important meeting of the Board of Commissioners, we ask you to enfold each of them in your love and your wisdom and guide them in their deliberations, that all they do and say, not only in this meeting, but in all their work, will be pleasing in your sight. Guide us day by day, dear Lord, and help us each day to share the love of Christ. In his name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, our Chief Appraiser, Mr. Benny Waldroff, for being here this morning, leading us in our invocation. And good morning to the citizens of Douglas County. We value your voice and we appreciate your participation in county government. Clerk, I believe you've indicated we have one citizen who signed up to speak this morning for our public comment. Mr. Larry Pierce is here. Mr. Pierce, if you could come forward and just state or restate your address. And your subject matter today is number 21, credit card, and we can speak from there. The Board of Commissioners respect our citizens' right to address their government, and Mr. Pierce, you will be allotted 3 minutes, and we have the timer, so when you hear the buzzer this morning, please be cognizant of the buzzer, and please wrap up your last sentence and your thoughts, should I say. So, good morning to you.
Good morning to
Good morning.
Madam Chair and fellow commissioners and citizens. I'm here for you. Thank you for letting me extend my time a little bit yesterday. I appreciate that. It's hard for me to get everything out sometimes.
Yes, sir.
But this month is for the goblins, and October is a month that got started by the pagan people, and then I guess religion came along later. But anyway, you know, I think anyone over the age of 50 can prophesize future, and sometimes you don't have to look too far to see the future. Now, the future of giving people a purchase credit card as an elected official, well, I told you about a couple months ago, I think that was bad. And the reason it's bad is because someone's got to take care of paying the bills. And one of the first things I found, I won't say who, but they went out and charged a measly $15. And when it came to the pay department, they failed to pay it by a certain time. So the information I've got on paper is that there was a $15 late charge on a $15 bill. Now, here's the thing that's going to happen. And you can trust me, it's going to happen. I've got 2 credit cards, okay? 2. That's all I got to my name. This one is for taking money out. This one here is a $500. I had it up to $7,500 and I refinanced and paid it off. But it's $500 because it's easy to go past. And last month I was helping somebody and I went past. Had to pay another charge of the amount over. Now, there are people who has filed bankruptcy. I'll bet you in this room here. And when that happens, it's 7 years of bad credit. So what I'd like to suggest, as honest as all of us tend to be, the credit card company says, you don't get it unless you got 650. 650, that's a magic number. You don't borrow money from the bank because the bank says 650, that's it. I know. I do it all the time. So giving somebody a credit card is going to be like somebody I know who lost a pocketbook. Slide over, I'm stealing what you got. Now who's going to handle it when Bob Smith loses the credit card and that person went and charged $2,000 at Home Depot and sold the stuff at the pawn shop? So all these problems come up. Whose job is it going to be to solve them and say, well, Lisa, well, excuse me, I didn't mean a real Lisa, but just imaginary Lisa. Lisa, when was it stolen? I don't know. But I think my cousin needed a refrigerator, and I think she stole it. No, it doesn't need to be done. Use your own money and keep it down. I know some can be trusted, but that's why there's a Santa Claus. It ain't free. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I appreciate your contribution to county government. Board of Commissioners, before we go into the get in the meat and potatoes of this meeting, I would like to make a motion to table number 14 out of the consent agenda, and its authorization to approve a 4-year SunTrust master lease agreement for patrol cars, equipment refresh, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents. And I'm making this motion to just defer this until our next meeting, which is October 15th.
Second.
We have a second? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? We have a motion and a second. Please indicate by raising your right hand. We have a 4-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. So we will table item number 14 into our upcoming meeting, which will be October 15th. You have that, clerk? Thank you, both clerk and deputy clerk. All right, we'll start our meeting. First, we will start with the approval of the minutes. Board of Commissioners, you have the commission meeting minutes of September 17th, 2019, the work session minutes of September 16, 2019, and the executive session minutes of September 16, 2019. Are there any corrections, additions, or deletions that need to be made?
No, ma'am.
Okay, being none, the minutes stand as approved, or stands as approved. We have 4 proclamations this morning. We got a lot of celebrations going on, so we're excited. What I would like us to do, I'm going to start all the proclamations and then ask the board to approve accordingly, but we'll take photographs at the end because we have 4 sometimes. And I know my commissioners love our exercise, but I'm going to try to have a seamless process this morning. So at the end of the last proclamation, we'll come down and we'll take individual group pictures with everyone, okay? Thank you so much. We'll start with tab number 4. Tab number 4, Board of Commissioners, we are proclaiming September 22nd, 2019 as American Business Women's Day in Douglas County, and Dr. Deborah Johnson Blake will read that for us, if you come forth. Thank you, Dr. DJ.
Yes. Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, and all chair. Thank you so much. American Business Women's Day. Whereas the American Business Women's Association, ABWA, was founded in Kansas City, Missouri on September 22nd, 1949, and will be commemorating its 70th anniversary in 2019. And whereas the ABWA mission statement is to bring together businesswomen of diverse occupations for them to help themselves and grow personally and professionally through leadership, education, networking support, and national recognition, and has dedicated itself to more than 500,000 women. And whereas ABWA recognizes the important contributions that more than 6.5 million American working women and 13.6 million women-owned and equally owned companies are making to this country, and whereas ABWA's National Scholarship Trust, the Stephen Bufton Memorial Education Fund, has contributed more than $17 million in college scholarships, grants, and loans to more than 16,000 women since its inception in 1953. And whereas the 2019 National Women's Leadership Conference of the American Business Women's Association will be held in Kansas City, Missouri on October 2nd through 5th, 2019. Now, therefore, the Douglas County Board of Commissioners does hereby recognize the many contributions women make in the marketplace by declaring September 22nd American Business Women's Day in Douglas County. So proclaimed this first day of October 2019. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Blake. Board of Commissioners, I know we certainly embrace American Business Women's Day here in Douglas County, and we're excited about all the great things that the ABWA is doing here in the county. You're doing a lot of work, and I just wanted to make that known, and your work is not going unnoticed. Board of Commissioners, you have heard the proclamation. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your votes. We have a 4-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, and we'll take a photograph with you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Blake. We do as well. Tab number 5, proclaiming November 3rd, 2019 as Retired Educators Day in Douglas County. And we have with us our own Mr. John Stone. Please come forward. Mr. Stone has been an educator for many, many years in this county. He served as a principal, so he's the perfect individual to render and read this proclamation this morning. Yes, he has.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Board, Commissioners. It gives me an honor to be here today to read this proclamation to you. Retired educators in Douglas County has been serving the county for 46 years. We represent in the county living here over 1,075 retired educators, which is just a fraction of the portion of retired educators in the state of Georgia. Wow. Proclamation, Douglas County Board of Commissioners, Retired Educators Day. Whereas the governor of the state of Georgia has proclaimed the day of Sunday, November the 3rd, 2019, as Retired Educators Day in Georgia, and whereas there are more than 121,000 retired educators in the state of Georgia, plus there's 28,000 plus members of the Georgia Retired Educators Association, which we're a member of. Whereas the Retired Educators of Georgia donates thousands of hours of volunteer service and makes invaluable contributions to the welfare of their respective communities across the state. And whereas it is appropriate that a day be designated for citizens to express their appreciation for the contribution that retired educators have made and continue to make for the benefit of human lives and for society. And whereas local churches will recognize those lasting contributions made by retired educators in this community. Now, therefore, the Douglas County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim Sunday, November the 3rd, 2019, as Retired Educators Day, and call upon the citizens of Douglas County to observe that day in an appropriate manner, honoring retired educators. So proclaim this first day of October, 2019.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stone. That was a wonderful proclamation, and certainly all due respect to our retired educators. You are game changers. You have enhanced the lives of others, and you will have a legacy that lives on and on because all these wonderful doctors and nurses and teachers and preachers, you have had an opportunity to put your thumbprint on them. So thank you so much for what you have done. Board of Commissioners, you have heard the proclamation. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your votes. We have a 4-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. So congratulations, and we'll take photographs with you in just a second. All right, we move on to tab number 6, proclaiming the month of October 2019 as National Community Planning Month, and that will be read by our own Ron Roberts, our Manager of Planning and Zoning. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Hope everybody's doing well today. The American Planning Association has dedicated October as National Community Planning Month. Educate, advocate, and celebrate. Planning Month is our chance to raise the visibility of planning, the planning profession, and to highlight the positive impact it has on our communities and to share stories with our appointed and elected officials that reinforce the importance of planning in the region, in Villa Rica, in Douglasville, and Douglas County. So, whereas change is constant and affects all cities, towns, suburbs, counties, boroughs, townships, rural areas, and other places. And whereas community planning and planners can help manage this change in a way that provides better choices for how people work, live, and play. And whereas community planning provides an opportunity for all residents to be equally involved in making choices that determine the shared vision of our neighborhoods. And whereas the full benefits of planning requires public officials and citizens who understand, support, and demand excellence in planning and plan implementation. And whereas the month of October is designated as National Community Planning Month throughout the United States and its territories. And whereas the American Planning Association and its professional institute, the American Institute of Certified Planners, endorse National Community Planning Month as an opportunity to highlight the contributions sound planning and plan implementation make to the quality of our neighborhoods and environment. Whereas the celebration of National Community Planning Month gives us the opportunity to publicly recognize the participation and dedication of the members of the planning commissions and other citizen planners who have contributed their time and expertise to the improvement of Douglas County, the city of Douglasville, and the city of Villa Rica. And whereas we recognize the many valuable contributions made by professional community and regional planners of Douglas County and extend our heartfelt thanks for the continued commitment to the public service by these professionals. Be it resolved that the month of October 2019 is hereby designated Community Planning Month of Douglas County in conjunction with the celebration of National Community Planning Month. If I may take a moment, I'll ask Tom Barber to come up here. I'm going to recognize our Planning Commission members that are here today. Kirk Nicholson there in the back, Teresa Knowles, Rob Thomas, hey Frank Payne from ours. Did you want to come up? And also, while he's coming up here, I also wanted to recognize the Atlanta regional staff that's here today. Jim Jarmusch, Jim Jaquish, Allison Duncan, Nathaniel Miller, who are here also working on our Unified Development Code, and Michelle Wright, and my staff member back there, Phil Schaefer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Tom Barber with the City of Villa Rica. I'm the city manager, and several of us made the trip over for this proclamation. We have Chris Montesinos, who's our Deputy Community Development Director, Ron Johnson, who also is a Planning and Zoning Specialist, and Mr. John Hannebeck, who is on our Planning and Zoning Commission. we appreciate the opportunity to come.
We appreciate you being here this morning. Are you? All right. Board of Commissioners, we have heard the proclamation, and we realize that community planning requires consistent vision and commitment and dedication to chase excellence, and that's what we're doing in both, should I say, Douglas County, and then Douglasville included, and Villa Rica. So we're so excited about this moment. Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion to approve this proclamation?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your votes. We have a 4-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. All right, we'll move on to tab number 7. Tab number 7 is proclaiming the week of October 6th through 12th, 2019 as Fire Prevention Week in Douglas County. That will be read by our own Chief Scott Spencer.
Thank you, Board of Commissioners. We appreciate the opportunity just to recognize your fire department and the things that we do throughout the year. October is a busy month, obviously with all the proclamations that have been read this morning. The reason that the fire department celebrates Fire Prevention Week in October, it's always the week of October in which the date of the 9th, October 9th. Does anybody know why?
Chicago fire.
You remember there was a big fire in Chicago. Some cow got started, the cow started it.
Chicago.
So that's why we celebrate it in October. So there's your little history for today as well.
All right.
Whereas Douglas County is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting in our community, and fire is a serious public safety concern, both locally and nationally, and homes are the locations where people are at the greatest risk from fire, and whereas home fires killed 2,630 people in the United States in 2017, according to the National Fire Protection Association, and fire departments in the United States responded to 357,000 home fires. And whereas when a smoke alarm sounds, Douglas County residents may have less than 2 minutes to escape to safety. And whereas Douglas County residents should make a home escape plan, drawing a map of each level of the home, showing all doors and windows, and should practice the home fire escape plan with everyone in the household, including visitors. And whereas Douglas County residents should teach children to escape on their own in case adults can't help them. And whereas Douglas County residents should make sure everyone in their home knows how to call 911 or local emergency number from a cell phone or a neighbor's phone, and should practice using different ways out. And whereas Douglas County residents should get out and stay out, never going back inside the home for people, pets, or things. And whereas Douglas County residents are responsive to public education measures and are able to take action to increase their safety from fire, especially in their homes. And whereas the 2019 Fire Prevention Week theme, "Not every hero wears a cape, plan and practice your escape," effectively serves to remind us that we need to take personal steps to increase our safety from fire. Therefore, we, the Douglas County Board of Commissioners of Douglas County, Georgia, do hereby proclaim October 6th through the 12th, 2019 as Fire Prevention Week throughout the county, and urge all the people of Douglas County, Georgia to be aware of their surroundings, look for available ways out in the event of a fire or other emergency, respond when the smoke alarm sounds by exiting the building immediately, and to support the many public safety activities and efforts of the Douglas County Fire and EMS Department during Fire Prevention Week 2019. So proclaim this first day of October 2019.
Thank you so much, Chief Spencer, and thank you and your amazing team for leading education regarding fire prevention in this county. And we deeply appreciate all the hard work of our first responders. Board of Commissioners, you have heard the proclamation. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your votes. We have a 4-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. At this time, we'll come down the Board of Commissioners and take photographs in the order in which we read the proclamations or approve these proclamations. We'll start with Dr. Blake first, and secondly with Mr. John Stone, thirdly Ron Roberts, and then Chief Spencer. Okay.
Let's do it. That's all about y'all. Y'all got a couple of them?
If we can kind of do 2 rows instead of put everybody to the wall. Yeah, if you are running the channel. You should probably be somewhere near the middle.
I'll just get some that chair.
Yeah, someone have that in the middle.
That'd be fine.
All right, just pull on in. There we go. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. Got it.
Y'all say, thanks for the break tonight.
Sometimes.
Okay, Board of Commissioners, I'm going to move right on into the consent agenda, and then we're just kind of moving the meeting around a little bit this morning in terms of order. I'll start with the consent agenda, and that's tab number 8. And please be reminded, all items are subject to final legal review. Tab number 8, approval of a resolution in support of an application for federal funds through the Atlanta Regional Commission for various transportation projects. Tab number 9, approval of a resolution adopting the 2019 Title VI program plan. Tab number 10, approval of the proposed merit system changes as recommended by the Personnel Review Board regarding sections 13-8, same-compensation, 3-17A, positions covered, 13-42, salary reviews, 13-124D, vacation leave, and 13-122B, holidays. Tab number 11, authorization to accept the 2019 ACCG Group Support Health Benefits Program, Health Promotion Grant in the amount of $6,000 and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents and amend the budget. Tab number 12, authorization to approve an MOU for 10-8 forensic services for drug screening for the Douglas County State and Superior Court Accountability Courts and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents. Tab number 13, authorization to approve a 5-year Dell Master Lease Agreement for office computers refreshed for the Douglas County Sheriff's Office and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents.
Madam Chairman, item 14 was tabled.
I haven't, did I go? It was tabled. That's what I'm going to keep moving. And tab number 15 is authorization for fire department to purchase ballistic vest, or should I say equipment for the protection of the fire and EMS personnel in hostile environmental incidents to be funded by the 2016 SPLOST reimbursements from the cities not to exceed the amount of $27,000 as recommended by the Fire and EMS Committee. Tab number 16, authorization to accept $5,000 in donation from the Douglas County's Humane Society for medical supplies and equipment and amend the animal services budget. Tab number 17, authorization to approve an agreement between Georgia Technology Authority and Douglas County EMA to allow Douglas County EMA to be on the public safety FirstNet system being implemented by AT&T and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents. Tab number 18, authorization to advertise for an RFQ for website design. Tab number 19, authorization to advertise for a public hearing to consider amendments to Article 2, Purchasing, Section -25, Purchasing Procedures, and 9-34, County Preference of the Douglas County Code of Ordinances. Tab number 20, authorization to accept a donation of approximately 256 acres of land from Southeastern Trust for Parks and Land Incorporation, located on Anawake Road, to be used as a future library site pursuant to a memorandum of understanding dated July 23, 2019, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents. Tab number 21, authorization to approve the amended purchasing card and credit card policy, purchasing card and/or credit card user agreement, and the Douglas County travel policy and procedural manuals. Tab number 22, authorization to approve the Douglas County Board appointment policy. Tab number 23, authorization to renew the agreement with Civic Clerk for the automated agenda system for an annual cost of $11,984 and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents. Board of Commissioners, that concludes our consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on any particular item?
Madam Chair, can I point out one clarification on item 21?
Yes.
In Section 8 of the credit card policy, there's some blanks there that we're filling in. I just want to point out what those blanks are going to be filled in with. The fire department has a credit card. The sheriff department has a credit card. Sheriff Pounds has a separate credit card. Tax Commissioner Baker has a credit card. The district attorney has a credit card. Lisa Watson, the county clerk, has a credit card. Mark Teal, the county administrator, has a credit card. Matt Laverne, the risk and safety director, has a credit card. Scott Spencer, the fire chief, is in the process of getting a credit card. Y'all previously approved that all local county only elected officials had authorization to get a credit card. So those blank lines will be filled in with those terms as part of this motion. I just wanted to clarify the update. We talked with Jennifer Hallman to confirm where are the credit cards, and that's where they are.
Okay, thank you so much, legal counsel. Board of Commissioners, sounds like we don't have a discussion. We have a motion and a second. We have, okay, Vice Chairman Robinson.
Yeah, I had to highlight a couple of them. Is anybody here to speak to number 19, purchasing policy shifts?
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome.
I'm Dawn Evers, Deputy Director of Purchasing. We're asking to advertise for a public hearing to amend Section 9-25 and Section 9-34 as recommended by the Purchasing Oversight Committee. Currently, the signature authorities up under Section 9-25 or up to 2,500 is the purchasing. We're asking that it be amended to up to 10,000 for purchasing. Currently, we up to 10,000 is the county administrator or one commissioner. 10,000 to 25,000 is county administrator and one or more commissioners or three commissioners, the majority. We're asking that that be amended to up to 25,000, the county administrator. 25,000 to 50,000 is the county administrator and three commissioners, the majority. We're asking that be amended to 25,000 to 50,000, the county administrator and the county commission chair / commissioner. 50,000 and over is the bid procedure and three commissioners, the majority. We're asking that stay the same, 50,000 over bid procedure and three commissioners. Also up under Section 9-25, we're asking that we add consultants to the list of professional services that shall be approved or denied by a majority of the commissioners. And under Section 9-34, that pertains to our local preference, we're asking that that be changed from 3% to the 5%. Any questions?
Any questions from the board or comments? Okay.
No, Madam Chair.
And
The point was just to highlight, because that's a very important policy. The chair, Attorney Carthen, Commissioner, is not here. She's actually fulfilling her new commissioner orientation and training and stuff, so she's not here. But there will be a public hearing, so we'll just take up the commentary then, Madam Chair. Just wanted to highlight it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I had one more.
Oh, okay, go on.
All right.
We hadn't yield the
All right,
floor
number 20.
He's done.
Somebody speak
Thank
to
you.
library or land.
Yes, sir.
Okay. County Administrator, can you weigh in and give a framework of what this is?
And that's the one on the library?
Yes.
I don't have, I'm on the email.
Or the land.
So.
Well, wait.
So it's like 356 acres?
200.
256 acres. We've done a environmental phase 1, and the property came back clean. And this is a donation from, I think, Southeastern Parks and Land.
So this is a donation, and again, Commissioner Carthen is obviously sponsoring this, who's not here, but I just want to clarify for the record. So it's a donation. Do we take it into our land bank, or do we just take it, how do we accept this? Where does it actually go, the land, to be used? Can you give us some insight on that?
I could probably answer that. When at closing, it will be titled in Douglas County. And so it will be titled, and the title will be recorded in the real estate records, and the actual deed will become part of the clerk's records for purposes of the minute after it goes through the recording process. And then I guess simultaneously with that, after the acquisition, Matt Laverne will put it on our inventory list for purposes of insurability and all that stuff. Now, Mark, I'm not sure if anybody else touches it. I'm sure as part of the process of recording the title, GIS would eventually get a copy of it to show county parcels, I would think.
Yes, that would be the normal process of anyone where property changes hands.
All right. And just for the public record, for people not having to pull this, where is this located? Get proximity.
It's on Anawake Road, about 3/4 of the way to Fairburn Road.
Coming from Chapel Hill?
Yes, sir.
So sort of somewhere in the middle. Okay, thank you for that. And then finally, is there any conditions of use that comes with this donation?
No, sir, not according to the MOU, and we'll make sure that's included in the closing documents as well.
Okay, all right, very good. And again, I'm sure Commissioner Carthen will speak further with her citizens in District 3 about this being a priority. It's something that's been on the books since 2006. And so in that area, is obviously, Lindy Moore stated that we're behind in library assets that are here. So I look forward to further discussion and funding of this. I yield back, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you so much, Vice Chairman Robinson. Commissioner Guider, I believe I saw your hand.
Thank you, ma'am. And Ms. Evers, if you would come back to the podium, I just wanted to ask you one question. The part that you said from 25,000 up to 50,000, you said that the chairman
The 25,000 to 50,000, the amended, what we're requesting be amended is county administrator and the commission chair / commissioner.
Okay, the / commissioner, what does that mean? Just one commissioner can?
That means that in the event that the chairman is unable or she's out for some reason, that a commissioner will have to step in and sign.
So could we change that to vice chair or something to that effect? Because he takes over when you are
Yes.
out. I would not want people to think that I could sign off on
Yes,
this amount of money.
we can change that to vice chair.
If anybody has any objection to that.
No. We'll change it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You yield back?
I
Yeah,
yield
okay,
back.
okay. We'll, Commissioner Mitchell, okay, all right.
Yeah, Madam Chair, one thing I would like, I understand this is on here, and I'm fine with all the changes. One of the things I wanted to point out is the intent of the original provisions about hiring the county attorney. Obviously, that requires board approval. Inside our budget, as part of our everyday operations, we retain counsel within our budget all the time. Is this change going to require us to get every one of those approved each and every time? I don't know that that was the original intent, but I just point that out before approval. I simply would ask that if it's not a budget change to us, we'd like to continue to operate as we've been operating. If it's a budget hit, then obviously it ought to be approved by the board, but I'll defer to y'all on that.
Vice Chairman, as the Finance Committee, I don't see any changes. Yeah, weigh in.
Okay.
I don't see.
I mean, what we're trying to do is be consistent, on this one. And I hear the supplication by our county attorney, but one of the things we're trying to make sure that there's conformance. We're not trying to prohibit the capacity to be able to do work, but we want to be consistent with our policy. And what I'm hearing is a request to make an exception for a specific area in the middle of this moment. And I wish I would have known this ahead of time, but I'm not certain right now is the time to change that. Now, the impacts of that would be, of course, all things have to come before the Board of Commissioners. We didn't debate that, right? We didn't take that up in finance because we weren't asked to do that. So I'm going to be respectful to my peers, as you know I'm going to do, which is, well, what saith thee? I yield.
Okay, thank you. What we'll do is, County Attorney, we'll take it before the Finance Committee. We'll take your request before the Finance Committee and we'll discuss it further. Okay, we'll do that at a later date. All right, Board of Commissioners, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? You've had your discussion. Please prepare to cast your votes for this consent agenda. We have a 4-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. So we'll move on to the next item, which is tab number 24 under new business, is authorization to amend the employee contract for Jill Hobson as JPAD Community Programs Manager. Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion to authorize and amend this employee's contract?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your votes. We have a 4-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. Tab number 25 is under business items. Denial of a proposed merit system change as recommended by the Human Resources Director regarding Section 13-19G Personnel Review Board. Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion to approve this denial?
So move.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Board, we have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your votes.
Point of order, Madam Chair, real quick, this is for
Yes.
denial, right?
Yes, denial. Mm-hmm.
Mine didn't pop up.
It's up
There
there.
we go.
Okay. We were like,
Thought it was just me.
we have a 4-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. Last but not least, we certainly have our announcements from our Communications Director, Martin. If you could just give us the announcements for the day, and then.
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners and staff. Just a few announcements this morning. I wanted to let the public know that the Douglas County Sheriff's Office and the City of Douglasville's Police Department are hosting the 8th Annual Trunk or Treat at the courthouse here on October 26th of this year from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. The event is free, open to the public, and for the past number of years it's been quite well attended. So the Douglas County Sheriff's Office and the City of Douglasville's Police Department wanted to let everyone know it's happening on October 26th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Trick-or-treating at the Douglas County Courthouse is scheduled for Thursday, October 31st from 1:30 to 4:30. For more information, all are welcome to contact me by calling 770-920-7303. As Vice Chair Robinson mentioned regarding Commissioner Carthen, she's fulfilling her duties, but she did want to pass on and let the public know that the public is invited to her town hall. She's scheduled a town hall for Tuesday, October 29th, scheduled for 5:30 at the Meeting Exclusive Event Space on Highway 5. She's asking her citizens to come out and give their voice on matters for District 3 and the Douglas County as a whole. Look out for a flyer that's going to be attached and provided on the website celebratedouglascounty.com. And if you have not subscribed to celebratedouglascounty.com and Douglas County Happenings, we invite the public to do so. That concludes this morning's announcements. I yield to you,
Okay.
Madam
and
Commissioner.
Thank you so much, Director Martin. And we have our own District 1 Commissioner Mitchell, and he has something coming up soon. Commissioner Mitchell, could you enlighten the public?
Yes, Madam Chair. My up-and-coming coffee conversation, which is Saturday, October 5th, from 10 until 12 noon at the Social 7 event space, 3622 Houston Street, Suite B, Lithia Springs, Georgia 30122. Like always, I provide the coffee, you provide the conversation. There's been some nice ongoing conversations. And again, it's in the District 1 area, but however, it's open for the general public. So come by and join us, again, from 10 until 2, from 10 until 12 noon. That's Saturday, October 5th. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. Any other announcements from any other commissioners? Vice Chairman Robinson?
Yeah, I'll be very quick, and since we're talking about meetings, obviously with our constituents, right after Madam Carthen's 29th, on October 30th, I'm having my annual budget town hall. It's going to be at Deer Lick. It's going to be from 6:30 to 8. We've got a couple more rounds to sort of share with the public as far as making you notifying you about this. But this, obviously, it's a staple in my district to get feedback. Obviously, I advocate your voice. I don't dictate to you what should be done. You pretty much give me what you want to get done, and I advocate for that. and obviously we work within the context of the Board of Commissioners to fulfill those things. So please, this is the annual budget process. Come talk to me about what's important for District 2, where we need to shape this or unshape that, or keep things moving. But again, it is a very good dialogue that we always have, and I look forward to it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right. Thank you so much, Commissioner. We appreciate those announcements. And we have one presentation. It's from our Humane Society this morning. We have a check presentation, and we wanted to certainly spotlight that and highlight that. We have our own director, Francis McMillan, here. And if you can introduce a member from the Humane Society, we appreciate it. And come up, and you have a presentation to the Board of Commissioners and the citizens of Douglas County.
Yes, the Douglas County Humane Society has supported our animal services program tremendously for many years, and they've just recently performed a fundraiser and raised and donated $5,000 for our medical program at the Animal Services. And this is Susan Duncan. She is the president of the Humane Society.
Good morning, all. Thank you for having us today.
Thank you.
We feel that this part of our platform, as much as we do with the spay and neuter of all the dogs and cats at the shelter before they're adopted, we should also make sure they have all the medical equipment that they're required. It should help in a cost savings as well across the board in the years to come with all of the things we can do at the shelter instead of transporting animals back and forth to the vet clinics. So the vets that come out to the shelter can have everything at their hands needed to help these animals. So we're excited.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate what you do here in Douglas County for our wonderful animals. And I see you brought your board. We would like to, Board of Commissioners, you want to get a quick photograph? We want to take a photograph. We didn't want you to come way out with your nice sign. Yes. If we could. We're ready? Could you come up, if that's okay, since it's just two of you? Come on up. Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you. Thank you for reminding me.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Again, thank you so much, Director McMillan and Mrs. Duncan, for what you do for our animals here in Douglas County. Board of Commissioners, if there's nothing else to come before this body, this meeting is adjourned.